Hey there, what's up everyone? Life God here with you. And we are going to be taking a first look at Ghost War, a 4v4 PvP experience for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. So the open beta is available from September 22nd to Sunday, September 24th. So by the time you probably view this, the open beta will probably have ended. But I have a feeling that there's going to be another open beta where a lot of players can get on and play the game. I had to tell you honestly, I did enjoy it. There are some things that I wish were a little bit different, such as level design. It's really conducive. It invites the player just to kind of camp, sit back and snipe, and that's it. That's the end of the story. So if a person jumps into a new game like I did for, recently, being a level 1, I didn't know what was going on half the time, and I got picked off from far away. But another thing that I do have to say that this game does absolutely spot on, if you're looking at it right now, is the character models. Now, if you want to take a look at my first impressions video for Ghost Recon, I say the same thing. I had to tip my hat off to the designer of the game, to the publisher. They did an absolutely spectacular job with the character models. I mean, you have so much detail. And one thing I do have to also say that I really do appreciate is that you can see a ton of different camos, a ton of different things that you can put on your character and not have to pay for it with real world money. So that's another thing that I really do appreciate from the developer, that you don't have to hide behind a paywall to make a really good game. Now there is product placement. I said that in the first look, first impressions, but we can handle that as long as they have this spectacular looking character models like they do. Another thing I really, and I have to say it, I really like is the gunsmith. It's pretty cool. It lets you design different, different guns with the different camos that are all available throughout the game, which is right off the bat. You open up the game, you can put on all these different camos, which is pretty cool. One thing I have to say that I did not like is the perks. Some of the perks are not really nice. Some of the perks are kind of the same as how they were in the actual first, the core game. Some of the stuff I really didn't understand. There's a sprinting option where you can actually just, that'd be one of your perks, is to sprint. I think they could have done just a little bit better job with that, but they do have some pretty nice little perks in there also. So I had to really, tip my hat off to them for actually, kind of improving that a little bit. Now, like I said, the game kind of invites the player to just sit back and camp, which is not really cool. I do, however, like the classes that were available. They were pretty cool. Now, one of the complaints that I have heard, and I continue to hear about it, is that why didn't the base game come with a multiplayer right off the bat? That was just it was really strange. I guess the developer wanted to see how it was going to be received, but that, I think, is just it kind of let the gamer down, and the population of the game, the popularity, also dropped quite a bit from that. Now I will say that this might not be popular, and the publisher, the developer, might not like it, but I would continue to play this game if and only if it was free to the public like it is now. I know that's not very popular, but I just don't see myself, I didn't really like the base game itself. So I don't see, buying the game just to play PvP, because it just didn't hold my attention. I didn't like it that much. There's a lot of open areas, and that's what I have a complaint with the level design. There's a lot of open areas in the game. Some of them are really nice. One thing I do have to say is that there is a day and night cycle, and there's a fog, and there's a rain that rolls in. So I had to tip my hat off to the level designer also on that. But there's a lot of wide open areas. Like I said, it invites the player just to sit back and camp and not really play the objective kind of thing, So most of the time, your teammates will be lying, wounded somewhere out in the woods, about 300 meters from you or 150 meters from you, and it's really, you really don't want to go out of your way just to go help them out, because they chose just to sit back and camp. But the thing I did like is the fog. I did like the day and night cycle. That was a really cool little added feature to it. So that was pretty neat. I know it was in the base game also, but I just like the fact that I'm playing in, say, the Lumberyard map. I forgot the name of the map, but, you're playing in the Lumberyard map. You play at night, you play it during the day, and then it just, it's a lot different. You have to change your camo. Some people might not. You don't really have to. It's not really going to make that big of a difference, but, that's one thing I did like. So I've gone through the characters, I've gone through the level design. Characters are spot on. I mean, they're some of the best looking models that you can actually ever hope for in a game. The game itself, PvP, I have to admit I liked it. I liked it a lot. I just don't see myself going out and getting a copy just so I can play PvP. And like I said, if it was free, I would more than likely keep it installed and I would play it, because it's one of my favorite games. I'd add it to the list of games that I play. But if it, and I know it's more than likely it's not going to happen. They're going to invite the player to buy the base game at full price and get access to the PvP, which should have been in the base game anyway. I know it's not very popular, but I also have to admit that maybe later on, if the player base grows, you can maybe put 5 missions together and charge a $14.99 if they were to go down the route of being free, which is not going to happen. But I think that'd be something that I would look forward to, as long as the AI is revamped. The AI is absolutely horrible. I don't know if it's been fixed or not, but I don't think I'm going to pay money just to find out if it's been fixed or not. But that would be one thing that really would have to be fixed. The AI would have to be changed. Put like 5 or 6 missions in there, and put a nice little storyline together. Don't just rush it or whatever. But going back to PvP is absolutely fun if you have a squad that knows what they're doing, instead of just hanging back and getting sniped and then having to go out of your way 150 meters, which it does help out. There was a game where it was I think 3 against 1 or 4 against 1. I was able to revive some of my guys and keep them alive, and then we turned the tide of battle. So, it's a fun little game if you know how to play it properly. Another thing I would like to point out is the end. If you lose the game, maybe giving the gamer a little bit of like service. They do this little thing where if you lose the game or if you win the game, it shows the squad who actually won. Instead of just flying by and then getting off and putting the camera somewhere like between a tree and looking at the map, maybe letting the gamer actually see his character and who's playing and what they did. I think that would have been a nice little addition. What else can I say about it? It was fun. If you know how to play the game, if you're not running around like Call of Duty style and getting picked off where you have to be a burden to your team, it does turn out to be a pretty fun experience. Level design could have been improved. Like the lumber mill was pretty nice. It has a lot of wide open areas. I think they did it more for sniping than anything. But if you're a true sniper, you just like go anywhere in the video game and pick a spot and then do your thing from there. The level design just really invites people to camp. So that's one thing I don't enjoy. But the positives are overall, the gameplay is not bad. You have a lot of fun with this game, especially when you're like how I said, you pull a team back from the brink and you actually turn the game around, and it makes it a lot of fun. The only thing is that when you're downed, sometimes players are disconnecting left, right, and center, which is not fun at all. You kind of wish that maybe things would be hurried up. It wouldn't be. I like the big maps, but maybe changing a little bit where there isn't as much camping or going around and stuff like that. But that's one of the things that should probably be improved upon. But overall, I had fun with this, and like I said, if it was free, I'd actually pick up a copy of it or keep it installed. I know that's not going to happen, but that's the only way that I would probably continue to play the game. Well, anyways, guys, I just wanted to put together a couple of first looks, first thoughts of what Ghost Recon, Ghost War PvP is like. Like I said, overall, I enjoyed it. Character models are spot on. They're some of the best I've ever seen, honestly. Level design can be a little bit better. It is pretty neat. There are some wide open areas, kind of like in the base game where, there's wide open stuff and not really a whole lot in there. I know for this type of game, it doesn't really make a difference, but it just, like I said, it invites the player just to sit back and camp. If you have a good little squad together or, pick up some friends along the way, it can be fun. And maybe if they, turn a cheek and say, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead and get the player base back. We'll open it up. We'll just keep it we'll keep it free for everyone. I'd come back to it. Anyway, guys, I just want to make a first look at this Ghost War PvP style, game. It was fun, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys play the game? Did you guys just not even bother with it anymore? Anyways, I'm Life for God. I will sign off now. I will see you when I see you.
Enemy drone overhead.